is, and we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we are bringing balance to the world. How many households at a time? One household at a time. And today we're doing that with none other than my very special guest, Mary Miner. How are you today, Mary?
Oh, I'm blessed, Kim. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I've got to share with you, Kim, are a shining light for Jesus. I'd like to read Matthew, and it matches today. So Matthew 5:16 says, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. And that's what you do, Kim, and I'm honored to be here.
To God be the glory, and I want God to get all the glory for everything that he does through my life, and I already know that you're letting your light shine extremely bright and really causing a lot of transformation in people that are experiencing and encountering you. And as you call it, coming out of the closet, you like in a good way, right? You're coming out
in a good way.
In a really good sanctified way, trying to change some things about it. You know what it reminds me of is when we know better. Maya Angelou used to say this often: when we know better, we do better. So just do the best you can, but once you know better, then do better.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminds me of when I hear your story, Mary. So I'm really excited about you being here today. So let's do this, everybody. I want to make sure you know, as you're grabbing your virtual seats, who we have with us today and give you the opportunity to learn more about my special guest. You're going to meet Mary Miner. She loves God with all of her heart, her soul, mind, and strength. She has had an amazing God encounters. She's a certified life coach specializing in relationships and dating. She got some good tips for us. She's the author of 2 books, Step Up, Be the Better Person, Live the Golden Rule, which is a book on how to stop snapping, shouting, and shutting down during conflict. For children, she's also written a book, Dilbert, the Diligent Dragon in Fantastical Fairyland. Yes, it is a story about Dilbert, a dragon who is bullied because of some of the other dragons that were jealous. But anyway, she's going to be talking about different things today, mainly about us getting control of how we behave during conflict. That's what our primary focus will be today. And she'll come back more to talk about Dilbert as well. She has 7 signature steps, golden steps, to learn how to disagree with love instead of snapping and shouting and shutting down. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of it. I just want to welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show, Mary Miner. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. I should have done major applause, not just you having to clap, but we are all over here clapping. We're all celebrating, not just Mary, not Mary. Okay.
I love it.
But I'm so glad to have you here today. So what I want to do is just jump right into our conversation, because I don't want people to miss a moment. And Mary, I wanted to find out from you, was there a moment or an experience when God himself, in your opinion, clearly showed you that you were on a mission to help people live the golden rule in their relationships?
Actually, there were several, so many. I can't even count them. I have a list on my phone, and he has been trying to connect with me and help me believe that this is something that I am supposed to do. Yes. It is a very difficult thing to do, but since I was not the kindest person for so many years, through my marriages and with my children and my family, God knew that I needed help. And so, yes, I do love the Lord with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the one particular story that I'd like to share with you is how I know that I'm supposed to do this.
Right.
Is we were living in Orlando, Florida, and I had lost my home in the 2008 housing crisis.
Okay.
And my inner voice, who I call God, the Holy Spirit, he told me to pick up and move to Greer. Now, this is coming out of the blue, and I'm like,
well, like an Abraham moment, huh?
oh, yes, definitely. And I didn't really believe in, I was kind of like the Israelites in the wilderness who, you know, they believed sometimes and a lot of times they didn't. And so at that time we were desperate and we really didn't have a choice. And so I told Dwayne, I said, he's my husband. And I said, we have got to move to Greer. And Dwayne, my husband, he's actually witness to all of my God encounters.
Wow. Okay. Well, God always does that. He sends a person that can verify what you're experiencing. So Dwayne was your witness. Okay.
But he didn't believe either. So until things started happening. So even though we were broke, we moved to Greer. Greer is like Woodruff. We went to Woodruff, South Carolina.
Okay.
And God provided everything we needed to buy this amazing country home. And at the time, we couldn't afford it, but money showed up. And at that time, we were having a difficult time providing for our heat and our air. We ate sparingly. We had the dial-up internet. We had antennas for TV.
You're really dating yourself now. You know that, right?
This is 2008.
Right.
Okay. By that time, we were, wireless but not us because we couldn't afford it. And we were very stressed out. And I cried. I cried all the time. And he answered my cry. And this is not the first time he's answered me. This is the second time. My first time is actually on my website, YouTube Share Your God Stories website, which I'd like all your listeners to go and look at, because I want to hear their God stories as well as my God stories.
Okay.
Because we are doing this for him. And just recently, especially, he has been telling me to do this, share all the, what I call God encounters.
Yes.
So anyway, this is big because as I was crying, he told me to go get my journal. And he told me to write in my journal in capital letters, something big is coming. He told me to flip forward 10 pages, write in big capital letters, something big is coming.
Wait. I want everybody to write this now too. And right here on the show, something big
is coming.
Is coming. Okay. Something big is coming.
And then he told me to flip forward 10 pages, write it again. Something big is coming. So I did that. And in that, he said, do everything with love. Okay. And he told me to do this 7 times. And it was January.
Okay.
And we were cold. And, but God also told me, keep doing your absolute best. Work hard. Get up early. Go to do your job. Do the best you possibly can.
Yes.
Work smart. Do everything with love. And I did my absolute best trying to be obedient. And I had total faith. And I just gave it to God. I laid it at the cross. 7 months later, in July of 2009, an angel walked into our house. You believe in angels, Kim?
I 100% believe in angels. Yes, I birthed an angel. Gabriel Michael was one of my angels, earth angels anyway.
Yes.
So January to July, 9 months later, you said?
7 months later.
7 months later.
Right, 2009. And so he walked into our house. We had to refinance our house because we were so broke. We just bought our house, but we had to refinance. I know it's a long story. But anyway, he walked into our house and he offered Dwayne a mortgage loan officer position. We're sitting at the table refinancing our house in the process. And God told me at that moment, sitting at the table, said, make sure God takes this job. And we were hesitant, but we went ahead and we took the job. Now, the manager of South Carolina got fired. And I'm like, oh no, we're going to lose our jobs.
Right. That's what we would think, right?
Right. Because he's the one that hired us. And so God reassured me. I was driving and he reassured me. He said, Mary, he said, it's going to be okay. And Dwayne is going to take over the manager of the South Carolina.
Come on now. Okay.
Oh, sweetheart, it gets better. This is an amazing story. So thank you so much for listening. So Dwayne took the job. A few months later, the pay was surreal. It was like temporarily winning the lottery. So then one day I was like, wow, I get to spend and buy everything I want. And then one day I was out there and I was thanking God. And I was just saying, Lord, thank you so much for everything that you have provided for me and my family. And how can I repay you? How can I serve you? And this is not the first time. He did this in 2000. And that's another story that's on the Share Your God stories. But anyway, he answered me again. And he said, I want you to bring forth my golden rule by inspiring people to speak to one another the way they like to be spoken to, so that we can get the love we crave at home and the respect we desire at work.
That's good.
Oh, it's just okay. Because this is what happened is throughout my life, I didn't know how to express myself. So God knew he had to get a hold of me. And so I was copping attitude and I'd get into an argument. I was stressed out about my finances and jealousy. I was a little jealous. Never wanted to admit it, but yeah, I was a little jealous.
Right.
And then, of course, the fear of the unknown, money and what's going to happen and fighting over, my children. So we had fight after fight and then we distanced and then, we broke up. And of course, and we ended up in a divorce. So I had a miserable life, Kim, from like 20 to 50 years old. Now, of course, I did have some wonderful times in my life during that time, but 50% of the time,
wow,
I'm telling you, I was not kind. I was lashing out. I was hurt. I was hurting others. I'm crying myself to sleep. And it's so sad because I'd lash out at anybody. It really didn't matter who. But then, the people that, you're on the phone and you're ending the conversation and you're going to say, I love you. And you hang up the phone, right? Bye. See you. Right. Those were the people I was hurting.
The people that you knew cared about you.
That loved me and that I loved them. And those are the people we hurt, the ones closest to us.
That's interesting that you're saying that, because a lot of times, like you said, you have people that are around you. You had Dwayne that was around you, with you every day. You love him. He loves you. You're on this journey in life together as husband and wife. And God is revealing some things to you, but you're like trying to convince somebody and they're not even seeing it either. And then this isn't just us having a conversation here. What do you recommend to people that God is saying something to you and other people don't see it? What do you recommend that people do in that situation? Because you won Dwayne over clearly because he went on and followed suit.
Yeah. Well, actually what happened was it was more or less my ex that I was not kind to, because by then God had started to work on me.
Right.
And so with my ex, and to help others, it's not easy. I'm sorry, but I guess my dog is.
Oh, girl, please. This show is about how we balance life. So
Yeah.
you can bring the dog right on the screen. I have a sheepadoodle. If he is scratching that door, we might as well open it because we're balancing life in real time. So go right ahead. Don't worry about the dog unless you want to go deal with him and come back, and I'll keep talking.
So, and right now, this, I'd love to share what you can do, but what it is so it's actually quite simple, but really hard to do every day, is to do everything with love. And that's one of the things that God showed me, and to be kind all the time. And I have these little tools that I'd like to share with you. But I do want to go back, Kim, just for a second to share how I know that I know, because a lot of people, they say that, Mary, God doesn't talk to so many people. My Bible study teacher told me that God doesn't speak to me.
Well,
so during that time, he was showing me these signs and wonders. And I'd love to share that really big sign.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to I have a whole bunch of stuff over here. So I wanted to share your YouTube, just one of your feature videos. Is that okay? Or do you want to go ahead and share what you're sharing first?
Well, real fast, okay. So then I went out and I thanked him, and then he showed me, he guided me. And during that time when I was learning how to step up to be the better person, I was still in doubt of whether or not I was supposed to do, until God showed me this. So, and this is kind of big. Yeah. So we're decorating our house. And the way my husband and I decorate our house is that I go to the store, I pick out 3 samples, and I bring the samples home, and he gets to pick out the sample that he likes. Okay. Because I think it's important for men to be involved if they want to be in the decorating. A lot of women don't like that. But anyway, so what happened is he picked out the same exact carpet as I did, because I was shopping for a carpet. Okay. And I took the carpet it was a rose color, a rose burgundy color. Okay. It was beautiful. But anyway, what happened was I took the sample to the big box store, and as I was ordering the carpet, the clerk picked up the phone and was fixing up a delivery date for the carpet to come to my house. Okay. And the clerk on the phone said, Mrs. Miner would like to order the golden rule carpet.
The golden rule carpet?
Yeah.
What in the world? Okay.
This is what he's been calling me to do.
The whole time. And
now my husband believes.
You get the golden rule carpet. Both of you pick it up at the same time. Yes. And they make a public announcement. You did not know that it was called the golden rule carpet.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Okay. Carry on.
Really what happened. So we continue to see all these signs and wonders. Yes. And it was just amazing. So I knew. And I also want to share with you is one of the reasons, I guess I got to ask you is, do you know the number one reason for divorce right now?
No, feel free. Tell us.
It's lack of commitment. And this is when people stop investing in their relationships, and they stop trying to repair their problems because they're sick and tired of doing it, and they're unwilling to put up the work that is required.
Yeah. Commitment, the lack of commitment, infidelity, conflict and arguing, all things that you are dealing with, marrying too young, financial problems, a lot of different things come from PubMed Central that are reasons. So yeah, that's a big deal.
And then the second one is just so happens to be constant conflict.
Conflict and arguing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, some of your listeners, they might be arguing with their families right now, and they wish that there was another way.
Right.
And God is telling us that there is another way.
There is.
You know, especially like when you're in a situation where you stop talking to a family member, you love them, but you've gotten into these arguments that have turned into mean, ugly fights that actually happened to me. And you don't know how to get them. And so you separated and you don't know how to get them back into your life.
Well, speaking of conflict, you say you've had some amazing encounters with God that have helped shape your mission to teach people how to disagree with love. But I'm going to have you just share at least one of those moments and explain how it helped you really create your platform that you're now sharing with everyone.
Well, thank you. Okay, so like I said, I was a fighter. All right. And I would hurt everyone. And in the same time, I'd cry out to God and I'd pray and I talk to him every single day.
Right.
And I still do to this day. It's our connection, I guess.
Right.
Say. And so when an argument would about to happen, okay, I would hear God say, Mary, stop. Don't say what you're about to say. Remember the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Now, this is all during my training session, right? And so he would say to me, what you're about to say, Mary, would you like it if they said that to you?
Right.
And then God would say to me, just because they hurt you, Mary, doesn't mean you have to hurt them. And then, Kim, I would pick up the Bible. And he would show me scripture. At that time, I wasn't familiar with the Bible. Now, I've read the Bible now 5 times, but
now you had it like
but I didn't understand it. That's a whole other story.
Right. Just because you read it don't mean you know it, right?
And now he's sharing with me, you know, how to understand. I mean, it's really, I'll never understand it totally, but I finally like reading it. But anyway, you know, he would show me scripture in 1 Peter 3:9, do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing. And this is the part, because to this you were called so that you may inherit blessing. And Kim, I have been so blessed. I have been so blessed. So now you got it. I'm in the heat of the moment. Please,
right.
You know, when I'm fighting, and so I'm about to go off. So I know this isn't my voice. Right. This isn't my voice telling me these things, and so because I would get mad so quickly, and I would cop an attitude, and I needed someone to say stop. And so that's what he did. And then one afternoon, this is really something, is God showed me a tool. Okay. This is a heart stone. Okay. A rock.
Okay.
My girlfriend gave me a heart rock similar to this. And at that time, I was really paying attention to who and what was showing up in my life.
Right.
And this heart rock became a significant stone. And I'm sure that God had a hand in it, because when she gave it to me and I was going through problems, I would hold it and I would say, God, the Holy Spirit would tell me, Mary, tell your heart stone to do that, you're going to do everything with love. And so I would go, I'm going to do, and this is all happening, right? I'm going to do everything with love. Now I'm angry. I'm going to do everything
with love.
I'm going to be kind all the time, because I switched it up, because I'm doing a be kind all the time movement in Johnson City. And so I would do this and it would work, and I would hold on to it. Okay. So, but then I was like, okay, does God really want me to do this? Am I making this up?
Right.
And then another amazing God story came about. Okay. Because I didn't want anybody to think that this is an idol, because that's not what this is.
Of course not. Nobody.
So he showed me 1 Samuel 7.
Okay.
These are an Ebenezer. An Ebenezer in Hebrew means stone of help. Is that God? Is that the glory of our God that made
Yes. You
this
can't make
for
this stuff
us?
up. You know,
No, you can't.
and
Exactly. Yeah. So when I would be having a difficult day, I would want to be considerate, excuse me,
bless you.
and I still have a hard time. I still go get my heart rocks and stones, and I would hold them and I would say, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be kind. And I'm not allowed to put this down or this until every thought from my is kind. That's it. It's got to be kind. Now you got to have pockets or something. And then this is really great because I showed my book to my children's story to a kindergarten teacher, and in the story is about the heartstone. Okay, so the kindergarten teacher told me to make heart pillows.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
So the children can hold the heart pillow and say, I'm going to be kind all the time. I'm going to be kind all
Oh,
the
I
time.
love it, Mary.
This is God. This isn't me. I got goosebumps all over.
Okay, I have to find that. Listen, y'all, I'm putting this up. I know we're not talking about Dilbert's book in detail today, but here's a screenshot so you can go ahead and get the QR code. If you're over a children's ministry, over a group of students in schools or in charter schools, or you have Montessori programs, you name it, get a copy of Dilbert's books and Dilbert's songs by Mary Margaret Miner. And she is taking a dragon that's being bullied on a fantastical journey. So, wow. Okay, keep going.
And so the story introduces the golden rule to the children because these days people don't even know what the golden rule is. And that's why God's asking me to bring it forth. So I got a quick story about my heartstone. Okay. So I got these heartstones and I was shopping at a big box store. And I walked into the store and I noticed that there was two young women and they were kind of getting into a little tiff. Right. And so I went up to both of them and I said, ladies, I says, I have a little gift for you. And I said, would you put out your hand? And so they put out their hand. Right. And I put a heart stone in each one of them. And I'm going to say, I used to be a capital B. You know what that is, right? Okay. I would say to them. And, I get cranky and grouchy and I wouldn't be kind. And I said, this heart stone, what I want you to do with it is I want you to hold it. I want you to say, I'm going to be kind all the time. I'm going to be kind. And please don't put it down until you can be kind all the time. And and I said, I know that sounds crazy, but it's what God's asking me to do. And so I left them. I'm walking around the store and I'm saying, God, did I do that? I said, is this okay?
Right. Some things you question like, Lord,
did I serve you? Is this what you wanted me to do?
Right.
And so I'm walking out the store and one of the girls comes running after me. I thought I'd forgotten a package. She comes running after me and she says, ma'am, she goes, can I hug you? She goes, I needed this so bad today. And she started crying. And she said, I have been so mean to my family. And I am so glad that you gave me this little gold heartstone.
And what did that do for you, Mary, to know that?
Oh, I dropped my bags in my car, raising my hands up to the Lord and just said, thank you. Thank you. It was just such an amazing moment. And it's not the first time.
And then Mary, the thing is, when you're questioning yourself along this journey called life, and you're not crazy because you know the experience that you're having with God, the encounter that you're having in the direction that he's giving you, but then you're like, do I do this? Do I not? And then someone comes and confirms you're doing exactly what God is instructing you to do.
Oh, Kim, it is so hard. It brings tears to my eyes because I have been running from this for 18 years.
Yes.
because it's so difficult to discern God's voice, and in but all these wonderful things were happening.
Yeah.
I had to start listening. And so now my husband and I, we traveled in an RV for 6 years, and we were in the Nolichucky flood. We didn't lose. We were blessed because God told us to get out now. Those are his words. And
Mhm.
that's a whole nother God story.
Mhm.
And so we did not lose our motorhome,
Mhm.
but we lost the trailer that we were pulling that held our Fiat and our Harley Davidson.
Mhm.
And so we're not able to travel because God's got a plan.
Big time. I'm in awe of what his next steps are for you. So we're gonna, I'm sure, talking about that some too. I want to pull this in because this will give you all, for those of you that are just tuning in and being a part of today's discussion, we are talking with Mary Miner. And now Mary she's teaching us about how to stop snapping, shouting and swearing and shutting down during conflict. We're talking with her today about these golden rules that she has learned how to be kind and loving all the time, not just some of the time, how to be kind and loving the majority of the time in life, how to do this thing. And this is from somebody that swore a lot and cursed and did all of the things and really had some situations with family and friends and pushed people away that she feels really loved her in her life. So let me just pull this clip in right quick. I want you to hear this. If you go over to Mary's YouTube channel and it's Share Your God Stories, and I'll put how you can connect with her on her page over there and subscribe to her channel. Let's take a listen.
Hi, my name is Mary Miner, and I am coming out of the closet. People told me, Mary, you have got to share your God stories. But I held back for over a decade. But now my husband, Dwayne, is my witness, and I am going to provide you, this is the Bible, I will provide you with my true, unexaggerated God stories. And I'd like for you to share your God stories with me because
Absolutely.
God is alive and we need to show the world the signs and wonders that He is sharing with us. God called me to bring forth His golden rule. And here's how I know I've been called. We were living in Orlando, Florida, and I had lost my house in the housing crisis of 2008. God told me to move to South Carolina in Greer. And I don't know how we did it, but we bought an amazing house. At the time, we couldn't afford much heat or air. We ate sparingly. We had dial up internet, and our antenna, it was the TV antenna kind. We didn't have streaming. I was really stressed out. I cried out to God and over again and got on my knees and asked Him for help. And He answered me. And this wasn't the first time I spoke to God. Yeah, I'm blessed. I don't hear God audibly, I hear Him through my heart. And I just want you to know that. So that day, He told me to go get my journal and write in capital letters something big is coming. Flip forward
Something
10
big is
pages,
coming.
Mary.
That's
Something
a
big is
story.
coming. Write it in capital letters. Flip forward 10 pages. Something big is coming. He told me to do that 7 times.
Big.
And he also told me to keep doing my best, work as hard as I can, get up early, work smart, and do everything with love.
Mhm.
So I tried to be obedient and follow his instructions. 7 months later, an angel walked into our house. Yes, I believe in angels. I really do. And he offered us mortgage loan officer jobs. We were
Dwayne.
refinancing
For
our house
Dwayne.
and he offered us a job. And God told me at that moment, make sure that Dwayne takes this job.
Take
I
it,
was
Dwayne.
hesitant. We were hesitant, but we took it.
Uh-huh.
Then the guy who hired us, he got fired and we're like, oh no, we're going to lose our
Of
jobs.
course.
But God told me that we're not losing our jobs and that Dwayne is going to become the manager. He became the manager within a few months. The pay was amazing. It was like we won the lottery. We were so blessed. Then one day, God asked me to bring forth his golden rule by inspiring people to speak to one another the way we like to be spoken to,
That's
so
right.
we could stop the snapping, the shouting, the shutting down. Because back then, I didn't know how to express myself. That was me. I would cop an attitude, I would cause an argument. But he told me that he would guide me, he would give me everything I needed.
Yeah.
And he still does.
And I'm going to stop it right there because I want everyone to hear you talk about some of those 7 golden rules. And so talk to us and help us understand what that looks like for those that will later connect with you and get to go on a even further journey with you.
Well, thank you. They're called the 7 golden steps, and what it is basically a systematic method that you can use. I have a list here. It's a list of steps that when you're about to snap, you're about to get angry, and you don't want to hurt the ones that you love. So you go to golden step 1, and this is a workshop that I teach. I teach a number of different workshops, but this is my signature. And you go to the first step, and then you work the 7 golden steps for each issue. Mm-hmm. The thing about what people do is they try to solve all their problems at once. Right. Like, for example, your spouse said something that you didn't like, and he's spending too much money, and he's not helping out around the house. Right. Well, those are 3 different issues. And that is very difficult for anybody to solve 3 difficult issues in one.
That's good.
That's one problem. So we have to go over each step one by one. You start at the top, and at the bottom, it's let go and let God. So these are specific steps that I teach in my workshops. I give away these heart pillows that go with the 7 golden steps. And it's just a method, because when we get angry, we just go off, and we not only go off, but we hurt other people in the meantime. But most important, well, not most important, but we also hurt ourselves.
That's right.
Because there's nothing good about yelling at someone. You do not feel good after you've yelled at someone. If you do, I think you might want to take a look at that, because that is damaging any of your relationships.
That's right.
And so it works for me to this day, because I'm a work in progress. My husband,
all of us are.
Yes, ma'am. All our but there's not another. Well, there's little other different types of methods, but there's not another systematic method that you can actually take one problem and solve it and let it go.
That's
right.
Right.
Letting it go is one of the most important things.
Letting it go. Somebody, y'all make sure you're typing this in the comments and let it go. Let it go
and give it to God. That's after you work all these steps. And it doesn't take long at all. It's just a process. It's like, would you rather be angry for 2 or 3 days like I was? Or would you rather get over it so that you can have more fun? You can enjoy your family, enjoy your friend.
Right.
And that's the hard part with me, is I held a grudge. I not only held a grudge, but it would consume me. It would take every minute of my day to get over the problem that I was trying to solve. And, one situation took me years.
That I want to ask you, how do you think that, how does that even happen, that the people that we say we love in our family, and we know that we love them, it's not even a question about whether we love them or not. You really know that this is my family, I love them dearly, but still they're the ones that we end up snapping and shouting and shutting down and ostracizing and having that conflict. Why do you think that happens?
It's a simple reason. The answer is because it's the easiest thing to do, to say whatever's on our mind at the moment.
That's good.
You know, a lot of people think that it's okay to speak our mind or to say whatever we feel, use whatever words we want, use whatever tone we want. And it is actually both the words and the tone that will make a difference on where your relationships are headed. Okay. It's not just, you know, for a while there was this fad about, oh yeah, it's the tone that you use.
Right.
It's both. It's really both.
I
And,
love
you know, a lot of times our families, when we get, you know, get in just a simple conversation, turns into an argument, you know, because somebody cops an attitude. Nobody likes it when people cop attitudes. We just don't like it. And then we hurt more than we help. You know, it doesn't help it. And then the other reason is because we don't know any other way to talk to our family. That's the way I was raised. I was raised, my family was, well, there was love in my family, and I don't want to blame anybody because
right. Of course, that's not even the point.
I don't believe
in every family. It's in every family.
I believe in fixing the problem, but you got to admit the energy in our homes, it affects what happens as we grow up. And so that's another reason why we continue to snap at one another and holler at one another. You know, our parents, they did their absolute best to teach us to be kind, to be polite, to open doors, to say please and thank you, think before we speak. But then again, we saw them not be so kind to themselves and fight with one another. And then we saw them be mean to us. And then the store clerk and the postman and whoever else is in our path, our church member even. And sadly, this is what I call unnecessary forms of communication.
Right.
But it's carried on. It's carried on from generation to generation. When we just communicate the way they did, at least I did. Someone has to break the cycle.
Somebody in the family has to change the trajectory of the outcome of your family. And what about people? I want to know, what about people who feel like their relationship is too damaged to fix, Mary? There are some people that feel like, okay, well, that's too far gone. There's no need for me to go back and let me just pick up from here and start from here moving forward. But that's too far gone.
You know, when you said that, my body just felt for them, because I've been there and I know that it is very difficult. And I just want to say, I am so sorry that any of your listeners, if they're going through that right now, where they feel like the damage has been done, you know, and they feel so distant from their family and friends, I feel for them. I really do, because I have been there and I have done that. But before you give up,
come on, y'all. Now, y'all gotta lean in on some of this, because she's dropping some nuggets, but I need a lot of participation. What questions you have, your thoughts, emojis, anything. Let us know that you're with us today. Before you give up, what do we do before we give up? There's an answer. What is it?
Cry out to Jesus.
Come through. That right there, everybody should be praising the Lord. Praise him. Praise him. Cry out to Jesus. Cry out to our Lord. Don't just give up. Never talk to your family member again for the existence of you being on this earth. Come up with a solution. Cry out to Jesus. My son used to say to me, one of my sons, he's actually graduated from Chapel Hill. He's 20, getting ready to turn 29. He's like, you know, how did that make you feel, Mom? When he would always say that when I was younger. And I was like, that's a really thought-provoking question.
Yes, I like that question. I use that question. That's a great question. Especially when my husband, it became a joke, because my husband and I would get into a tiff and he would say something to me and I would say, well, how did that make you feel when you said that to me?
Right.
Instead of blasting at him like I used to, my exes. And and you know, you may not, I gotta say, you may or may not be able to save your marriage or the damaged relationship that you're in, but when you cry out to Jesus, and I'm asking you to exhaust all means before you give up.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Exhaust
And
all means. Make
exhaust
sure y'all make
all
note of
means.
that.
And guess where that starts?
Where?
Within yourself.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. It's only internal.
First.
We can't change anybody else, but we can always do something to better ourselves.
And like I said earlier, take one issue at a time, work the 7 golden steps, resolve that big issue that you're going through, because there's always that one big issue that hurts families the most.
Right.
Solve that by going through these golden steps. And then, you're going to have a little bit more of peace of mind. And it's for you. It's not for them.
That's
work good. On learning how to change your heart. And anybody who wants a heart pillow from me today, I will sew you. It's my penance. I will sew you a heart pillow. You can email me at golden.
I have it. Wait a minute.
Oh, good.
Okay, let's put it up. You're going to email her at goldenrulelady at outlook.com.
Yes.
If you want to get a personal hand-sewn heart, that's a gift. Do you know that the amount of money and labor it takes for her to sew all of those heart pillows, and she is gifting it? You're giving it?
Small one. I'm going to give you a small one.
Okay, you're like,
yes.
Oh, you get a smaller heart.
Unless you tell me a story that you really need a big one, I will make you a big one. Now, this is God providing. Okay, so and I'm looking for volunteers who want to help me sew heart pillows.
You know what?
And that's a whole nother story with Dilbert's story, which I'd love to come back and share. But I just want to go back to the question of the damaged relationships. Okay, so it starts within yourself first.
Yes.
Then I'm asking you for a challenge, to challenge yourself. I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay.
Because I'm going to do everything with love, with everyone, every day, in every situation. And that's going to help you heal. I want you to learn how to have a change of heart. And I want you to do your absolute best and then lay it at the cross.
Okay. I want you to repeat that one more time. I know we have it. It's here on footage and everything, but I want it to really sink in what you're saying. One more time.
If you're up for it, if you're having problems in your relationships, doesn't matter which one. If you're having problems, I want you to step up and be the better person and do your absolute best to do everything with love every day, with everyone, in every situation. And I know it's hard, but it's going to heal you. I want you to learn how to have a change of heart. It's so important. When you are working on yourself, you will get more peace when you do everything with love. And then when you've worked the 7 golden steps and you've done everything you can, lay it at the cross.
Lay it at the cross.
Lay it at the cross.
Y'all, somebody make note of that. I hope y'all are going to have these as your notes. Lay it at the cross. And I see different comments. I'm going to pull them all up and give people a chance to say some things here to Mary very shortly. But she said, lay it at the cross. After you've done those 7 golden steps, lay it at the cross. And if you want an actual smaller heart, the yellow golden heart that she's personally sewn, and she's looking for volunteers to help sew more so that she can spread these hearts worldwide. So I know I tagged the seamstress. Make sure that you reach out to goldenrulelady@outlook.com. Oh, I'm loving this. What do you think are the biggest mistakes people make when they are trying to resolve a disagreement, Mary?
Well, I know them because I made them.
And you know what? I'm trying not to use every sound effect. I'm trying not to, but you're like, I personally know them all. Go ahead, tell us
Yeah.
a few.
Well, one of the first things that people have a tendency to do is where they're in the midst of an argument, they want to continue arguing. And not only do they want to continue arguing, but they want to try to resolve the issue while they're arguing.
Right.
And we can't think kind thoughts when we're angry. I know I can't. I don't know if you can, but maybe you can't, but I can't.
I cannot. You can't even think straight. You cannot.
Can't think straight. Your mind is racing. But
right.
people have a tendency to try to solve the problem right in the heat of the moment. And that's not going to work. So that's golden step 1 and 2, to calm down, take a time out, calm down, and pray. Don't forget to pray, because God has a way of bringing you peace even in the heat of the argument.
This is good. I'm just typing it too. You have to calm down and pray before you can resolve the conflict.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'm just typing what you're saying. This is so good. Yeah, we don't pre-rehearse this stuff. So this is in real time here. I'm learning and typing as we're going here too. So this is great. Great.
And I'm reminding myself because God asked me to live my book too.
Right.
Yeah. And that's, I had to live my book before I could even start to help others. And those were very challenging times. But anyway, another thing that is a mistake is, as far as listening goes, oh my gosh, when we would get in an argument, and even when we come back and we do what's called number 4 is the perception discussion with my husband, what would happen is I would do all the talking and no listening. And that would make him even madder. And I would say to him, at that time I didn't know about the 7 golden steps, and I would just try to, I would probably make the situation worse, actually. And then he said to me, you've had your turn to talk. It's my turn to talk. I need you to listen.
Right.
So attentively listening to everyone that is involved in the situation. So at the time, whether it's, let's say it's your husband, wife, and child, or let's say it's 3 girlfriends, that everyone has a chance to talk it out. And that's one of the golden steps.
That's good. Before you go to the next golden step, because I'm typing that, but I really love that example, because I literally this morning I was having a conversation with one of my friends, my bestie, actually. We were talking, and I didn't agree with what she was sharing. I said, well, I just don't agree with what you're saying. But then I said, Kim, listen with attentive ears and hear what this woman is saying, because what she's saying is right. It was right what she was saying, but I wasn't receiving it because I had already made up in my mind what I thought I was hearing her say, but that wasn't what she was actually saying.
Okay.
And so as a result of that, I made an immediate adjustment to something that I was getting ready to do, and it helped me. And I was like, good. Thank you.
That's a hands in the air celebration.
Right. I did all the things for you, but it's like, yeah, I did the right thing because I was actively listening. So that's a great example. Keep going. What else do you want to say about that?
Also, I kind of went over don't always bring up one item at a time, because it's just overwhelming for any relationship.
Yes.
And I want to say a couple more things. Just because they saw it different or they're doing something different doesn't make it wrong. So my husband and I, we do pretty much everything different. And okay, so let's just do something as simple as putting the dishes in the dishwasher. Some people don't put any plastic on the bottom. Well, it just depends if it says something, but it's just different. Now, I want it on the top, and my husband doesn't even care. He puts it wherever. So just because he does it different doesn't make it wrong. Does that kind of make sense?
That's right. That's what I tell people that all the time, Mary. Just because we don't, this is from a pastor, I'm a pastor, so this is from a pastoral perspective. Just because you don't agree with what the person might be doing or whatever is happening that rubs you the wrong way does not mean that they are not a child of God. So we still have to be very careful how we handle God's people. That's God's child, regardless of whether you and that person are getting along or not. Who am I to say because they are doing this, then you're not of God? What? Are you kidding me?
And one other thing is my best is not their best.
Right.
My husband's best is different than my best.
Mhm.
So when I say I did my best is my best and his best is his best. And that's a very big concept when it comes to people because we are all created differently.
That's good. So the biggest mistakes in your opinion that people make when they're trying to resolve a disagreement, tell us about that.
Well, that's kind of what I kind of went over just a few minutes ago.
Oh, that's what that all is there?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the way.
I was trying to cut you off from sharing all of your golden tips without people.
No, we're good. We're
That was my
good.
way of saying, hey, if y'all want to get all of these 7 golden steps, then you definitely want to connect with Mary, because I want to make sure that you get a chance to not just hear everything on the show only, but really go into developing a long-term relationship and friendship with Mary as you go on the journey
Yes,
with her.
please do.
That's what I think is most helpful. And the way you can stay connected with her, let them know how they can stay, follow and subscribe, which I just did to your YouTube channel. Tell them about that.
Yay. And I just wanted to real quick, Kim, tell you about my workshops real quick, because I'm really excited about doing them again. I'm emailing almost every church organization in the Tri-Cities. And I customize each workshop to fit the organization, the school, or the church. So I'll give you an example of a church. When I go to the churches, I talk to the pastor and get the needs. And one particular example is when I did a workshop in South Carolina, the pastor was saying, are people committed to God or are they just interested in God? So we did a discussion on that. And then we also, how you have a meet and a greet when they come into the church, there's always somebody standing there.
Right. Yeah.
You. Well, a lot of times people just go into the church and they sit down, but nobody's really talking to them and having conversation with them. Right. So one of the workshops that I did, I taught the leaders how to, go up to them and find out what they love to do and who they are and make them feel very welcome so that they feel loved so that they will come back.
I think that is excellent.
Because I've gone to so many churches and I get greeted at the door and it's a wonderful feeling, but then I go home and I don't even know what to do. Go back to the church. Also, and how to disagree.
How to disagree with love. I was going to ask you, you teach workshops that I have done some research on here, how to disagree with love. And I want to make sure people know what happens in those workshops and what do people walk away with. It's like, share just something that most people wouldn't know. That
well, one thing they love their heart pillows, and they also have their 7 golden steps. And it's so wonderful when the HR person says she loved it and she's going to put it in the workroom, the break room. And she goes, I'm taking one home. I'm going to put it on the refrigerator for my family. So
me too.
So they walk away knowing that there's another way, that they can have a strong voice without speaking down to people. They can stay out of the drama is another very good workshop that I do. Loving yourself. I'm helping people love themselves so that they can love their neighbor. And also reconnect and repair your relationships. So
that's good. These are all different workshops that you offer. So exactly. How to disagree with love. Listen, if you are organization, a church, a community-based organization, a faith-based organization, if you're a school, whatever it is that you're over people, if you're dealing with people, there is typically some level of disagreement about something. How to disagree with love, how to minimize the drama, how to make sure that we learn how to lead with love in every situation. And then you also get your heart pillow. Let me also put the book that this illustrious author has written called Step Up, Be the Better Person, Live the Golden Rule. Tell people what you want readers to walk away from with your book, Step Up, Be the Better Person.
That you're not alone. If you are having problems in your relationship, you're about to give up, you're not alone. I have been there, and I don't know why. Sometimes it feels better when people have been in your situation to share. So the 7 golden steps are step by step. I have a personal example that is in the book. I also have total faith versus total faith. I share my story about that, how God told me how to have that. And I also talk about just doing your best and moving forward and just stepping up and being the better person so that you can get the love you crave at home.
That's
and the respect you deserve at work.
And the respect you deserve, the love you crave, and the respect you deserve. Just step up, be the better person, and live the golden rule. And we've had a real live example right here on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I'm not closing out yet. I'm getting ready to soon, but I want to put up here on the screen so you can scan the QR code to get the book. You can also get Stop Sabotaging, Shouting, Shutting Down. Go to the YouTube channel right there by scanning that QR code, and life-changing workshops that Mary Miner offers. You don't want to miss the opportunity to be connected with her. And she also said, if you just simply email her today, you are going to get an actual yellow heart that she personally sewed, sent to you, goldenrulelady@outlook.com. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge those that are supporting the Kim Jacobs Show, because without your support and contribution, the show cannot come on every weekday like this. We were ranked number 6 out of the 10 top podcasts over on Roku. And I'm so excited about that. But the only way we can ever maintain these level of distributions and reach in 140 countries and all of these things, we had 43,000 views over on Roku. You have to download the CTR Media Network app and go to the self-improvement channel. That's where you'll find the Kim Jacobs Show, and you'll find Mary Miner and all of my wonderful guests. I do want to thank those that are sending in contributions. And for those that would like to become a supporter, please make sure you do so. Let us know if you do it during the show and type, hey, I contributed, I donated or something, so we can shout you out. Like Mary. Mary, here she is a guest. I don't even charge my guests to be on the show at all. And before she even came on the show, she contributed to the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you.
I'm glad to do so. Thank you for all you're doing. Your light is shining across the world, Kim.
And I was trying to figure out who the contribution came from, and here it was from you. I was like, who is this positive lady?
Oh, the positive drama queen. That was my, and that's another God story as well. That was my other email address. I've switched over to the golden rule lady@outlook.com.
Well, I'm so glad for the positive drama person, the golden rule, everything that God has entrusted you with. I'm grateful for you being here today. So I did see a couple of comments, and I wanted to acknowledge, I don't want to get off without taking the time to acknowledge my guests that had the, oh Lord, there's so many things, comments over here. Let's see. Anyway, I want to make sure I acknowledge some of you all. Any other thought? Tell us a fun fact about you. I know I found out some stuff about you as I'm preparing to get ready to close. You're a biker chick. Tell us about this. Yes, I found out I was a sleuth. Come on, talk to us.
My husband and I, we have a Harley Davidson. We love to ride. I listen to good music and we're riding. I also am sewing my dragons. This is one of them. This is Dilbert. I will be sharing Dilbert, the Diligent Dragon, another time, I hope. And I have 2 other dragons. I'm going to be sewing all the dragons. I'm going to be creating fantastical fairyland so families can come to an Airbnb and they can learn obviously about the golden rule, but play with the dragons, dress up as fairies and leprechauns. And this is a dream of mine that I'm moving forward with, and we'll see what happens with it. But he is my mascot. He is the one-winged dragon. You can find out why he's the one-winged dragon with my story, Dilbert the Diligent Dragon.
Let me put that back up. Dilbert the Diligent Dragon. And remember now, he was being bullied, so you could probably put some things together, but definitely get a copy. No, let me acknowledge you, Toria. It does indeed is the comment that you said. Thank you so much. And I also saw you, Jackie Barrett, somewhere I saw a comment from you. Thank you. And thank you for contributing. I know you're one of our contributors as well. And also my mom, who is a contributor to the Kim Jacobs Show monthly. My mom does not play. She said, before you give up, cry out to Jesus. And she is definitely one of my top contributors that believe in the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you, Mom, for your comment. Okay, go ahead and say what you were saying about Dilbert.
Oh, no, it just that I will be going to all the restaurants in Johnson City. He comes with me. I take pictures. I promote the restaurant on Dilbert's page. We'll go over that, I hope, another time, Kim.
Come back.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Please do. I hope that you have gotten at least what you want shared with people today about stepping up and being the better person and choosing to lead with love in everything. If we choose to lead with love with everything. Any closing thoughts, comments? Oh, before you say your closing thought, let me acknowledge this as well. This is happening in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Charlotte, USA outpouring is coming from Apostle Johnson Suleiman is going to be all the way from Nigeria, coming to Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte will never be the same again. And from his prophetic teachings and anointing that God has placed over him and his wife, Pastor Apostle and Pastor Lizzie Suleiman as well. They are anointed vessels of God, and we'll be in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, April 14th and 15th. So people are traveling from all over the country by bus, plane, because they're like, this is the closest he's ever been to where we are, and he's an anointed man of God. It's going to be at 601 Milestone Event Venue in Concord, North Carolina. And all of the details are right there on the screen for you, both days, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So make sure you go ahead and get your tickets right away. And the final announcement that I have for you today is if you are looking to start your own show from scratch, God has put in your heart some things that you know you must get out to the earth. You cannot bury the gift any longer. It's time. In the comfort of your own home, we are starting a 6-week training that takes place. It kicks off on this upcoming Wednesday. So if you would like to be a part of it, urgently reach out 704-962-7161. We only take 5 students. So we have a couple of seats left, and you are welcome to be a part of this journey in creating your own virtual show. I'll be training you with no more than 5 students for 6 weeks, all the ins and outs to be able to launch your new show. All right, closing comment from you, Mary.
Folks, a disagreement doesn't have to turn into a fight and can be resolved quickly with the 7 golden steps. Because if we want our relationships with others to work, we've got to live the golden rule and be kind all the time.
Be kind all the time. I'm putting this contact information up one more time. Be kind all the time. And I'm putting the comment section as well, so you all know how to stay connected. Don't miss the opportunity to get your yellow golden heart from Mary Minor, and go get your copy of the book today. Thank you so much for being my very special guest and being... I thought that would be the best thing I could give you today. My heart beating. I was trying to think what would be a good ending note that you were sharing your heart.
That is so cool.
So you made my heart. You made my heart glad. You made my heart so glad. All right, everybody. That's Mary Minor. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you all for tuning into this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we are continuing to bring balance to the world, one household at a time. Look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday every weekday at 11 o'clock a.m. Have a great day, everybody. I love you. Love you, Mary.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.